And we are live. So, hello everybody, and welcome to the channel, bobsales this time next year. And of course, we've got my good friend Duck and Cover. You all right,
How you
mate?
doing,
How you
guys?
doing?
Very good, very good. Just trying to find my StreamYard again. I can't see it.
It's all right. You'll be able to find it in a minute, no doubt. So yeah, we're literally just here to talk a little bit about the event, about what we got up to at the event, some of the drinking, some of the personal stuff, some of the actual event itself, the London police posters, maybe the funny story of jogging to the London police posters, looking like Batman and Robin from Only Fools and Horses there, me and you running down the side of the
Yeah, we
road.
would have too if we had the capes. Would have been
Yeah,
funny.
yeah. I'm surprised no one actually got us. No one got a clip of us two. And I'm sure I had that Superstar Money hat on at the time as well.
Yeah, you did. Yep. You could have glown in
So
the
yeah,
dark, guided in aircraft.
that'd have actually been pretty good, right? So first off, anyway, it's good to see you, man. Like literally, we spent all that time together. Now it's weird not being in the same room, listening to you snore, or you lot listening to me farting all the time. It's been weird being back, I must admit. And then trying
It
to
was a
get back
boys'
into
house.
normal life, it's been a bit weird the last week.
It was a boys' house, mate, for sure.
Definitely was a good laugh, I must admit. It was well worth it. It was well worth going, even though the train and the travel and all that. It was well worth going. I don't know where I'd go to Auxerre again. I'd go to Paris, maybe France. I don't know about Auxerre because that is the most randomest train experience of my life. I must admit.
Well, I think people have probably seen the tweets about it and sort of seen little bits and pieces here and there. But you should start the story from the beginning and let them know how your day went to start with.
Well, my day went absolutely terrible. So I actually got into Auxerre at 9 a. Not Auxerre. So I got into Paris. So I got into Paris 9 a.m. I believe, and then from there it just went downwards. So what should have took me maybe a 3 to 4 hour journey? Well, realistically, it should have been a 2 hour journey, but then with all the train travel and then switching about, you can add another hour in there. But there, it went downhill from there. I ended up calling Duck and Cover and David to come rescue me. I had no phone battery. My phone died. I had no charger because obviously I didn't bring a French charger because Bob didn't think that way that he was going to need a French charger, but he did need a French charger. So that was pretty funny. And then I ended up waiting at that train station. I took a picture, had no battery whatsoever. And then I took a picture of you. And it was like, this is the train station I'm at. You have to come find me. I'm not moving for the next 4 hours. So then I stood at that train station for the next 4 hours, literally waiting till you come. And then we finally got to Auxerre at maybe 10 p.m., 11 p.m. And then that was after having David's computer nicked out the train, which made it even bloody worse at the time, Absolutely terrible. So yeah, that was not a good first day. But then we did have a little after party, beginning party, and now I've lost Duck and Cover already. But yeah,
No, I'm still here.
we did have a little beginning party, after party at that beginning night, so that kind of made up for it in the end. But yeah, that whole day trip, the whole night trip was just, yeah, I'm never doing that again. And then on the way back, I had the same experience on the way back. This time the French were a bit more nicer to me because I had a veve Paris shirt on. And then this time when I tried to speak to him in the train station, I was, bonjour, and then they tried to speak to, and then they finally started to speak to you. You are right. Maybe say one word to them first. Maybe they'll then try and speak to you back. Whereas the first time it was just, hello, can you help me? Like, I'm English. I don't speak your language. And he's just like, I don't speak yours. So good luck to you. So yeah, it's pretty funny. It was a bit,
Well,
it was a bit emotional.
they do love the accent. When English people speak French, they love it, mate. They find it charmant, they say. So charming, they really like that. So you make an effort, and they're going to kind of like that. And go, oh, all right, yeah, I'll talk to him.
But it's like the other thing. So I'm scared of heights as well. So I haven't been on a plane for many, many years. And then this time I was like, I'm going to fly, even though I didn't really necessarily have to fly, but I hate trains that much. That's exactly why I didn't take the train, because I hate trains like so badly. I get lost. I get lost in London. I get lost going anywhere other than my house or around the corner. Like I'm just a lost puppy. And yeah, I'm the person. It's like someone pointed out to me the other day. I'm the person that schedule people's routes to where they deliver every single day. And yeah, I've got no sense of direction in me. And yet I'm the person they rely on to schedule these routes in the most convenient way, the most mileage saving, cost effective way, whatever you want to call it. Save
Vision
time.
Pro will be great for you then. You'll have no trouble planning it out in your goggles and then just follow the lines.
Yeah, I see the goggles. Have you seen everyone testing them online?
Well, actually, I saw a pretty in-depth review. Went for about 35, 40 minutes from a guy. I don't know his name. It was just some random channel that I looked at, and he went really in depth into the pros and cons, what it can do, what it can't do. And I've had a look at a couple of the things that the veve people put up, but it's they're just sort of like looking at what the veve app is like. But this in-depth review that I saw of it today, it looks pretty impressive, man. I mean, obviously it's brand new and it has limitations. But what it can do and what you can tell it's going to be able to do in just a couple of short years, man, I got to say I'm impressed. And I really do think it's the beginning of another revolution, like with the iPod and all that stuff.
I actually agree with you, because I remember when I made the first video, I was like, it's never going to come out like this video. It's going to come out wrong. And then I watched a couple of random YouTubers. Sorry, I've still got the bad throat going on, all the beer, the whiskeys and the champagne. But yeah, I watched Marquise Brown, I think his name is, something like that. He does a lot of YouTube videos where he tests a lot of new products or expensive products and products a lot of the time normal people can't get their hands on. So he done one, and then there was another YouTuber that, what's his name? He's so completely random, that dude, as well.
I'll see if I can find the name of the guy I was looking at.
The other guy's name? He's so random, but he was trying it in the street and stuff, and he had it all popped up. He was watching films, he was watching Netflix, he was doing it all, and everyone was just taking pictures of him while he was sat on the seat, and no one knew it was him. They were just taking pictures because he sat there looking like a weirdo with his glasses on. But
yeah, it is.
Cool.
It's
and then I see
the Brownie that I watched.
Yeah, that's the one I
Marquez
watched.
Brownie. Yeah,
he's good YouTuber, that guy, and the way he edits his videos, well, he probably got an editor now, but the way his videos put together, one of the best edited videos you can find on YouTube.
But you were just saying about somebody who was tested in the street.
But yeah, there was another guy. I can't remember his name. He's got glasses. He's a white dude with long hair. Got really big nose, really big chin. I'm trying to think of his name. I can't think of his name. He looks like a surfer dude, but he's like 50 at this point.
Okay. And what did he say about it?
He makes random YouTube. Well, he was sat there. Well, he tried it on the train at first, and apparently it wouldn't work on the train. It would work to a certain point, but as soon as the train started moving, it would stop working, because apparently it needs a still bit, and because the train's constantly moving, it had no still bit, so it couldn't work on the train. But then when he was sat outside on a bench in Times Square or wherever, like New York somewhere, he sat there on a bench and he's just got his laptop, he's got everything pulled up, Netflix over here, and he's got people walking past him, but then everyone's kind of taking pictures of him because he just looks random, and he's just going like this, like pinching.
Yeah, and he's got the Vision Pro on, and I mean everybody's
well, there's that as well. Well, it's like I see the clip the other day. I can't remember whose stream it was, but I see a clip. It might have been Randy's actually, but I see a clip.
Yeah, Randy had somebody on the other day with him and Sanjay.
Pinches the vault, and then you see the vault open, and they were really happy with that. But if that's your only use for it, it's not worth the money, and it's still not worth the money right now. Yet. But it's like PlayStations and stuff. You just need to wait for the next PlayStation to come out, and then before you know it, it's going to be affordable for everyone. All right, you're going to be downgraded a little bit because everyone else is going to be on the newer model, but you still, it makes the price come down.
Yep. But I definitely I see this as I can't imagine that it's going to end here. It's definitely going to go a lot further than this. They're going to have other competitors. You've already got Meta putting out a new one. There's going to be others that come along. What was the one I was watching? Pop 101 maybe.
Yeah.
And they were, I think it was them. They were talking about.
At least you can understand it.
Yeah. And they were reading an article. The article they were reading was actually in English. I can't remember where they got the article from, but it was talking about a new project, a new VR AR project. Oh, what was it called now? Miracle View or something like this. And they've already raised like $4.5 billion with a B. For the development of their new technology, and this, it's looking like something that could be at least a competitor for Apple, if not surpassing it, sort of thing. So I mean, there's a lot of people putting money into this,
which is a cheaper version. So MetaQuest is not as good looking. It's not as I would say Meta Quest is going to be the cheaper version, and it looks like the cheaper version, and it acts like the cheaper version, but only by a bit. Is it really going to matter if you're going to use it that one time? I mean, I'd love to have one just to look around the veve vaults and stuff, but I'm not sure that would be something I could use in my daily life. I would not be outside in that. You'd never catch me outside in it. Not at any point, I don't think. Maybe in 20 years when everyone's doing it, maybe it will start to grow on us. But I can't see Bob being the first person to be out there with his nice little shiny glasses, looking
I'm
like
not
he's
that
about to be skiing
self-conscious.
in the summer.
I'll be out there with it.
Yeah, I know you. I've got some wicked clips for you, by the way. That's a good reminder, by the way. You know the shorts. So the first day was fine. The second day, the music kind of damaged it a little bit, and then I missed half the drinks. And then the third day, I've got a good compilation of it. But there's definitely we missed all the champagne, the whiskey, we missed every single good drink in there, and we just got a bunch of what looks like these crypto cups, which I'm still drinking out of today. Brings me back memories. You should see my washing up bowl. I've got 20, 30. I didn't realize how much was in that stack, but there must be 30 cups there. When I pulled them all out yesterday, I took a picture of it after I washed them all up, and I will never go without a cup now.
Well, we got any in the chat? Maybe give some away.
Well, that's what I'm gonna do with them. That's why I brought them back. I know Gus got the last one, so I've got to send him, because Gus won a comic before. Never got around to sending him it yet. I messaged him. I was like, look, because I think I actually got sacked at the same time, probably a week or two later. And I was like, look, I've just got more important things to do right now. He was like, yeah, that's fine. Don't worry about it. I was like, well, I'll keep it for you. I'll send it. And then I've got a Batman card here for him. And now I've got the Pokemon card here for him, because he was pretty much the only one that answered. There was 2 or 3 that had a good go, but I think there was one answer wrong in there.
Although you did some riddles or something, didn't you?
No, I did 5 questions, but all on videos. So I remember one of them was, how long can Kate Winslet breathe underwater? Which I know from the Avatar video, it's 7 minutes, 14 seconds, I believe. Right. Okay. And then obviously it's all in the videos, and I kind of hinted what videos, and they were all the more recent last videos. So, and then some of them were a bit easier than that, but there was good questions like that, and then Gus got every single one. But then the one he got wrong was James Cameron. What did he first visit the Titanic in? What sub did he use? Which he put the what's the big yellow thing? Oh no, don't do that, darling. Ugh. He put the can't even think of the name of it now, but it was the wrong one. That was the one where he went right down to the Mariana Trench in it. So that was a newer ship. He went down.
Wow, man, you didn't make it easy.
Russian subs like the Mirs. So yeah, I didn't make it easy, but then he corrected that after. So yeah, he's definitely got that one. And now I can actually send him the comic, the car, and the Pokemon card all at once. So it's an easy. And I've actually got to go to the post office tomorrow, because I've got to try to send these pain of a bum posters off. So after all that, I've got to actually send these off now. And did you see, talking about posters? Yeah, we will get back to the event.
Posters, anyway. Prints, mate, prints, high quality prints.
This is what. Posters. Thank you very much. Thank you for correcting me there, because every other time I've typed prints, and that was the first time I said posters. But yeah, the prints. So we had an experience with the team when we were there. Wasn't the artist, I don't believe, mainly in control of the Discords and stuff like that. But we had that personal experience. We had the experience of running to the event for the posters. We've had the experience of opening the posters and buying the posters, the NFTs, the teams. And then after that, I managed to secure myself a T-shirt for buying Tommy a poster. Do you remember I brung the random Tommy? No one knew who Tommy was, right? Do you remember?
Yeah. Well, yeah, it was
no
Tommy
one knew,
AB,
right? And then all of a sudden, I spoke to Tommy, and then we find out he's part of their Discord.
What was the T-shirt you got?
So now I'm getting... So because of that, I got so much XP in the Discord the other day. And then they were like, actually, nice. Bob, because you've took Tommy's T-shirt, I want to do something special for you. So he sent me a T-shirt. But it was for holders of the first set on veve, I think, the digital one, which I've got one of them. And then I've got one of the posters, but I've got 200 gems. And I'm trying to get to the 300 gems so I can buy another poster. print before it goes. Well, the NFT version even before
Of
it goes any
numbers and
higher.
letters,
Because,
you mean?
yeah, because this is, for me, I expected $1,000, like straight off the bat, maybe 700
It's
at one
definitely going to
point,
be worth
but
more.
it went down to 200, 220, and I was sitting there thinking that's crazy. And then I sat there thinking to myself, I've got to buy another one of them. So that's what I'm trying to do. So I've got 200 gems. I'm waiting. I need another 100 at the minute, but I'm hoping maybe I can get for the 250 if it goes back down slightly.
It's up
I
to
think
349 right now.
you. So I've been at work all day. The last time I looked at it was 301, and that was my mate Guri, which I've actually got his poster sat right next to me. So that was kind of funny because I was going to buy his. It's 350 already. I knew it would happen. Worst thing is, I see it at 240. I was like, that's not going to stay there. I was like, it's not going to stay there. I was like, that's going to go to 1K, 700, 1K in the next week, I would say. Everyone that was selling is kind of sold now. And then half the listings actually on the floor or the 42 millions or 4.2 millions or the prices that are not for sale, basically.
I think the people haven't quite realized exactly what it is yet. And there are some people who got multiples at the event, and so there are some people who have got multiples, so they're trying to get back a bit of money and all that. But once that sort of gets flushed out, and to anybody watching here,
Do a live unboxing.
There's a possibility. Yeah, beautiful, man.
It's the only one still in the wrapping at the minute because every other one got transferred, didn't it?
I haven't taken.
Worst thing is when you try to look at it, because of the way it's been curled up, it's hard to get it straight. Now that I know there's a trick for that, but I don't really want to wet it because that's one of the tricks. You can like damp the side and it will lay it down, kind of like when the carpets come up. But I don't want to do that with this.
No, I don't really want to do that.
And it's,
no, if I get it framed,
like
if I take it out, I'll take it to a professional framer to get it.
It's like Sui, right? When we met Sui at the event, he was telling us about the code. Do you remember the scan code, the silver code?
For the on the back of the
poster.
Yep, to scan.
Where does that go to again? Because he said if you scan it then takes you. I'm sure he said.
Yeah, I think it's on their website. It's kind of like a log of all of the additions that went out, and others. I didn't quite get exactly how it worked because I was only halfway listening. But speaking of that, we may possibly have Sui coming on to have a chat with us on Friday for anybody who's here. If you're interested to come and listen to that, but we'll let you guys know more about that when we know more. But we could ask him about that if he comes on.
So this painful monkey is the London police print. We've got to stop calling it a poster because this should actually be in art galleries apparently, and
they are super high quality.
We know from our conversation with him, the 200 price that was on this, it wasn't exactly over the moon about. And they did kind of say this should be in an art gallery itself for about £3,000 to £4,000 by itself, and that's without the digital, and that's obviously framed, everything like that. Yeah. But again, it was very undervalued, put it that way. And I think
so. I put something about that in the Facebook group about the Numbers and Letters United. And I had somebody going like, yeah, but who are the London police? Blah 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 blah. I was like, man, just because you never heard of them doesn't mean that they're not significant. Exactly. And he was saying he thought it was overvalued. I think it's way undervalued, honestly.
Yeah, I think I do.
Especially knowing, like, I don't know any specifics just yet, but I know that from talking to D-Roy from Sui, that they do have big plans for not just the future, but the near future.
Yeah,
and it's going to be really interesting to see. And they, some of that is going to be tied to this Numbers and Letters United piece. They've already said that. So it's going to be really excited to see what comes from them.
They got a bunch of utility apparently coming. They've also, he reckons he was going to open an art gallery in Amsterdam. I see that one.
Yeah,
I was like, yes, please do that. That's another reason for Bob to come to Amsterdam.
For sure. No, I think that this. I think that not only this piece, but I think the London police are going to do well. With their digital art, whether it be on veve or their ETH project that they've been talking about.
This is a funny story, right? So I went to Decon London, and this was before not one of them artists. I don't think. Oh, Patrick Hughes. That was the only artist there that was actually on veve. So when you go to Anaheim and stuff like that, you've got Tokidoki, you've got Simone round the corner. You've got all these brands. What Ron English is always floating about. Frank Kozak used to be floating about, rest his soul, but he used to be floating about. Like all of them artists you used to get at it. You spoiled. When we went to London Decon, we had one artist, which was Patrick Hughes, and I'm not gonna like the art's great, but I'm not gonna lie to you. I was at that event, and that was the most boring speech I've ever heard in my life. And I love the guy because he's an old guy. As you can imagine, he's a bit of a slower talker and stuff like that. But I was not feeling it that day. I actually had COVID as well that day, so I was really not feeling it that day. It was quite funny, to be honest. And then me and my nephew literally left early that day because as soon as we got out of that talk, we just looked at each other and we were just like, let's go home, mate. Let's go home.
Yeah.
I was sweating. I was literally sweating at the time. And that was the only one. So at the time, London police were there. And me and my nephew were watching the London police guy, one of them at the time. And this is without the neck brace or the curly hair or anything like that.
Without the
Normal
disguise,
average
that'd be
guy.
Bob, I think, with the beard.
That's definitely part of the act or part of the gizmo, right? I don't think that wasn't at London Decon. And we sat there watching the guy drawing one of his pictures.
Yeah, right.
And we sat there for maybe 10 minutes. And where they had their stall, it was in like you had the main decon here. I mean, it was only small anyway, but you had the main, but he had a stall that was here facing a wall here. And it probably had about 10 foot here. And it was the worst placement you possibly could have got for anyone at the event. I mean, it was cool because we got to see him, but then was I as interested then as I am now? Did I buy anything at the time? No, I didn't buy anything. Whereas this time I was so connected to the team and everything like that. And then we knew from day one before we even met the team. I mean, we got on with the team that were there. We got on with them really well, I'd say. At one point, we had a good party with them in the nightclubs, and we had they're a good bunch of people, right?
Yeah, really good folks.
We didn't meet the actual artist this time round. So
yeah, to be clear, we're talking about SUI, which, if I understood correctly, they're the members of the London police team that deal with the digital side of the art.
Yeah.
That's the role I see anyway for them.
Yeah. So I agree with that. I believe that's the same thing as well. And then they were definitely the representatives at this event, no matter which way you put it.
Yeah.
I mean, what a cool guy and what a cool girl, right? Both of them, like, absolutely crazy people, Nigella and Sui.
Oh, really, really nice people. And that's the thing. I mean, they didn't even have to push it. They didn't even have to push it. They had so much of a presence that people just got curious and came over to see what was going on, you know?
Yeah, it was absolutely crazy. And again, at this event, I would say there was, how many would you say were, so I'll let you answer this. So with the people at the event, how many were there for veve and how many were there for the crypto event, would you say?
Well, I would say the majority were there for the crypto event, but I would say that the most prominent presence at the event were the veve people for sure. Because, I mean, we were there as a group. Whereas,
they knew we were
even
there.
If the majority of people weren't there for veve, they were there as like small groups of 3 or 4 people sort of thing. We were there like 200 people, 300 people, you know, all waving the banner going veve. So we definitely generated a lot of buzz around that event. Hey, Anand, how you going, man?
Yeah, we did. I agree. Even though we were small numbers, they knew we were in Auxerre. Even the Auxerre people knew we were in Auxerre. Well,
yeah, that's a funny thing. On the last day after the last party,
knew, right?
After the last party, just the day we were leaving to come back, me, Bob, and David went to a cafe, and we were just sitting in a cafe drinking a coffee, and 2 ladies walked in and went, "Oh, you guys for the crypto?" And I'm like, "Yeah, we're here for that." We're here for veve. They're like, "Oh my God, veve people, man, it was such a nice breath of fresh air to have you guys in our town. You guys, you know, were so nice and friendly and blah, blah." So, you know, people in the town definitely realized that we were there.
Even the bloke. So the bloke at the coffee shop.
Yeah.
It took Bob till I got home, watched the short of me drinking Jägermeisters with you, the veve meister, and everyone else. Yeah, and then I realized the bloke standing next to me telling me how to do the... Next day, I see him in a coffee shop. No idea who he was. And you 2 fluent French were speaking to him. like I said hello to him, but again, I didn't recognize him. I was drinking with a guy last night. He was standing beside me in that video going, Bob.
Yeah, but not
Bob.
only that, man. Not only that, he was one of the bartenders from Le Pub where we had the VV after parties. Like he's
Every
one of the
night.
bartenders from that pub.
So that's the funny story. We actually got kicked out of that pub to then go to another pub to then last night get kicked out to a French nightclub and then get kicked out of that club. So
yeah, they're till closing every time. Can't keep good men down.
It was pretty good, I must admit. Let's just catch up in here. Painful Monkey. Oh yeah, yeah. We've got the poster. Well, the print, I should say. Poster. I'm gonna have to.
Yeah.
Poster. Good to see you, Mr. Kenobi, even and all. Sorry I didn't answer your call a minute ago. Obviously, I'm on stream. It did actually just ring me 5 minutes ago. So it's good to see you, my friend. Sounds like I missed out. You were definitely invited and you're definitely joining
Oh, you
our
definitely
team,
missed
I
out.
must
It was a
admit,
lot of fun.
because you like I've drunk with Anand like no end of times, and this guy can drink me under the table. And I mean, this guy could probably walk a tightrope after 2 bottles of Jack Daniels. So I'm telling you, he would have been a good pair up for the 5 of us, with the 4 of us. Because
what do you reckon would be your highlight of the event anyway? What did you enjoy the most?
Highlight.
Well, let's say what night did you think was the most fun?
Weird thing is, we went with this idea to do the drink shorts. I'm not gonna lie, this is not the highlight, but that was such an amazing idea, and everyone was looking at us every single night wondering what the hell we were doing when we were doing them shorts, because we were doing them and everyone's sort of looking at us as to say, what are these plums doing? Like he's really clearly pissed right at this point, and we just didn't care. I mean, that was pretty funny, and the way they come together, the first lot, the second day is like so mixed up. And then it got banned on YouTube because of the music halfway through. The third day's also got copyrighted, but I'm going to take the risk on that one and just let that one fly. And I'll probably release that after this video is ready to go. But then even that one, I had so many champagne that night. I had so many whiskeys. I mean, to give you a good story, right? We were drinking with everyone from all walks of life, and we had a bottle of whiskey at our house, and we took it to the event with us because they didn't really serve whiskey. The drinks were kind of expensive. And when I mean we sat there in the bar pouring this bottle of whiskey, like a good 10 of us, with no care in the world. Bar woman's clearly watching us at this point. And it wasn't like we were all broke people at this time. We're all, some people are better off than others, but everyone had common sense. So we brung a bottle of whiskey, they brung a bottle of whiskey, the wife brought a bottle of whiskey, and it was just crazy, absolutely crazy. So when you meet people like that, like I say, all walks of life, and you've all got the common sense to then bring the bottle of whiskey, it made such a funny night. And then we were all sat there just as calm as you like, pouring it in front of the bar lady. They were absolutely, you could see the woman's face. I could, and like the one, like, he's got his back turned to it like this, but then it was 2 minutes later, and I was like, oh my God, it was so terrible.
That was the lamb, right?
Yeah, the lamb. And then the same night we had champagne with a lamb and whiskey with a lamb. And then I got to the 5th or 6th drink and I had whiskey by that point. And then the next clip in the short, you see it's like, yeah, it's the 7th, 8th drink, but I've had champagne, whiskey, and I'm just like, oh, we missed every single one of them. But at this time, this was the main night. It was definitely the last night. So we were socializing. I wouldn't say more.
Yeah, that was the last night when everybody was actually at the event party.
Yeah, where I wouldn't say we were socializing more, but I say at that time we formed our little VV group. We knew it was the last day, and when it come to the champagne and everything, we kind of took in everyone, and we were chatting to everyone at the event, right? Yeah. Even got fed snails by Lammy at the event, so that was pretty fun. Right. But yeah, it was a random night. So yeah, the shorts was one of my favorite, and then I'll say the Josh Emmett. I mean, Josh Emmett signing the UFC glove. I literally took my training glove with me, and it's up there. I can literally see it in the corner of my eye, blinking at me, sparkling at me. But I literally took that. I took my training gloves because my training gloves are about done at this point. They need replacing. And I didn't want him to sign a glove that was brand new. I know, okay, it'd probably look a bit better. Half the UFC logos hanging off that. I'm going to have to glue that on there. So, yeah, it's definitely a bit weird. But I wanted a damaged glove that was worn. And it was worn by me. I should have got Josh to wear it. I missed out there. You said that, right? I should have got him to wear the glove.
Get his
I should have got
DNA
him
on
to
it.
wear the glove. I don't know why I
Clone him.
didn't. And then I was supposed to get the face off, and I still didn't. But yeah, that was one of my favorite bits. And the guy is so normal. And for me, I'm at the first night.
I only met him briefly, but he was a nice bloke for sure.
So the first night of the party, I'm standing here, and I can see Josh here. I'm going to you lot. Okay, Josh Emmett over there. You lot are going, what? Who? UFC fighters over there. UFC fighters over there. And I'm literally looking at him and sitting there thinking, how do I start a conversation? And then the next day, I kind of mentioned to Taz, one of the other guys at the event, great fellows at the event. Obviously, we got a tattoo kind of done together at the same time at the same event. So obviously, we met before, like me and Taz met before. So, and then Taz knew I was an MMA fan, and he kind of broke the ice for me. He was just like, Bob, let me introduce you to my mate Josh. And it was just like, wow, it was just crazy. And then it was Josh, and then I probably spoke to Josh for probably an hour. And then every other time I see Josh after that at the event and stuff, it's all right, mate, how you doing? Yeah, I'm all good. Like, it's half in recovery at the minute, and just normal casual conversation. And the one thing I'd say about that guy is he's probably got a bit of money behind him. All UFC fighters have got a bit of, self-pride, a bit of, you got to have confidence as you're an idiot to get in the cage, right? But Josh, the whole London police thing, everything like that, the guy waited in line to get in the event. He waited in line to get in the London police thing. He didn't try and arrange anything, prearrange anything.
He took his turn like everybody else.
He literally waited for everyone else.
But you know what? I didn't get any of those kind of vibes from him. I didn't get any of those kind of front and up sort of vibes from him. He was just cool. Just a chill guy, man.
It couldn't be any
more
casual.
Nice, just any other bloke. If you didn't know who he was from the TV, you would never guess him as a UFC fighter.
Yeah. Apart from you can see his frame.
Yeah.
He's a bit smaller than me, but his frame's massive. Like when he takes his t-shirt off, you don't want to be you don't want to be near the guy.
Calm down, man. Calm down. Take a glass of water or something.
But yeah, no, honestly, I think that would be one of my favorite bits, because that was. And then even Alan. So I met Alan, which is part of the MetaFight company at the minute. He's also been a UFC fighter. He's also still fighting. One of his biggest fights was Cyril Gain. And at the event, he actually had his, both their gloves that were signed from the event. And then I was going to ask him to sign the other glove, but I didn't dare ask him. I'm not going to lie, because I wasn't sure if he was selling the gloves at the event or not. And then he was very French, so he could understand enough. Really? And he also watched my video at the time, so I appreciate that. He also liked the video at the time.
But didn't he retweet it or something?
Yeah, he retweeted it, commented underneath. I thought I was actually getting scammed at one point, and I realized it was actually the real dude. I remember last time, I can't remember who it was last time. It was the fake Alex G. And I see that guy everywhere, even today, like Superstar Money Street. The guy's a lovely bloke as well, but he named his thing like Alex G or whatever. As soon as I see it was Alex, I was like, oh yeah, thanks for watching and that. And then I realized it weren't Alex. I was like, straight block. Straight block, because it annoyed me that it wasn't. And then this time, because it was Max that retweeted it, and then he retweeted it to Fanny, and then obviously Alan at MetaFight and stuff like that. So,
Did you check out that MetaFight? Did you have a look at what it was and how it all works?
So even when I made the video, I knew about MetaFight. That actually seems like a really good idea. And then even one of the sponsors of MetaFight is Venom, which is the UFC sponsor right now. And then it took me, I had to have a really deep dig, because I was like, this isn't affiliated with the UFC, which could be a problem. But then they had so many UFC fighters on the roster, and it was just, they had Shevchenko, they had just so many fighters over the years, what I could just picture, that are now fighting in the UFC. And I was just like, how have they got work? But then they were getting around it because it was done on the gyms. So there's American Top Team, for instance, one of the best American wrestling gyms you can get. A lot of UFC fighters come out of that. So it's like they were getting paid by the gyms. They take a contract with the gyms, and then the license was with the gyms, not the UFC, if that makes sense.
Right. So it's under a separate license. They're allowed to do that because it's got nothing to do with the UFC, and the
But
UFC
then
can't do anything about it.
45 minutes after looking, UFC's one of the sponsors, one of the partners.
So what's it all about
they're
anyway?
involved
This
as well.
metafight.
So you
What's
collect.
the deal with it?
So the way I looked at it, you collect fighters, and then at one point you're going to be able to train them fighters, do stuff for the fighters, fight the fighters, but the fighters are NFTs.
Okay,
It's
so it's a
all
little bit
about
like photo finish,
gamification,
but more
but with
like a
yeah.
boxing,
And a lot of the fighters,
UFC
as I
sort of
say,
like thing.
there's some boxing fighters and some average fighters, but then there is a lot of like top tier.
So you basically like play the manager of the fighter. You buy a fighter, and then
Yeah,
you're the guy who's kind of managing him, training him, and
pretty much. But I'm not sure
right.
how that works out all to the price wise or how that all works out. But
That
it's all
sounds pretty
legit.
interesting.
It's above board, and it actually looks really good, especially for me. It actually looks really good, and the whole mechanics of it sounds really good. But again, it's one of these companies where it's so early stages. You've just got to let things roll a little bit and keep track of it. Same as Helix, you got to keep an eye on it. But at one
Yeah, I
point,
haven't had a look at that for a while now. I've got to check out where they're at with that.
Dead, and it looked like it may have gone quiet, and then all of a sudden it started pumping next thing, and it was like, oh, okay, maybe I missed some in it. Whereas
the one at the event,
all them announcements, I'd missed them. I didn't miss them because I searched for them and there wasn't anything. And then 2 weeks later, I get tagged in one made a video about this update, and I was like, I didn't see it. I was like, it was only 2 weeks ago. I searched.
I'm going to go back and check out their Discord, see what if there's been anything said in there. I haven't looked at it for a long time, but it does look pretty promising from back when I was looking at it anyway.
Yeah, that's
but
true.
The one thing that I saw I already talked to you about it. The one thing I liked from the Crypto XR event was the Interseller, the NFT wines and whiskeys. Man, I thought that was a brilliant idea. Really simple idea. I'm surprised nobody's thought about it before, but these guys are on it.
It's a weird idea. It's a weird idea.
I think it makes perfect sense. I mean, you buy the
idea.
NFT of the wine. That way you don't have to, have the right conditions to store this potentially expensive wine. It gets stored in a place, insured, looked after by experts, and you don't ever even have to touch it. You just buy and sell the NFT if you want to buy the wine. Or you could also, burn the NFT and get them to send you the wine or the whiskey to drink.
That's pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
And then Interstellar was it's like Interstellar were one of the sponsors. So the wine we were drinking the first night, that was all Interstellar. So
oh yeah, that VIP night for anyone still listening was all free wine, free beer. It was pretty good. Worth the $80.
Free wine over here as well. I definitely got my €80 out of that one night for the VIP. Sure. I think the VIP ticket was €80, €90. But I definitely got that out of beers that night. I mean, I had 2 wines. I couldn't really deal with the wines. I had to pass that over.
I was smashing them.
When we found out they had beers as well, it was just like, this is crazy. It's a shame it weren't like that all week because that.
Oh yeah, but the amount of people, come on now.
The amount of money they must have spent that.
Even having to pay
that night.
Even having to pay, I think we drank well enough, man. I don't think we need any more free.
I mean, that night, how much did I mean, I definitely drank €80 worth. Like 100 million%, maybe more than that. And for every person that were there, they probably drank the same because everyone was just drinking.
I don't know, not everybody. I mean, that VIP night, there were a lot of people there who really looked like they were there for professional purposes, dressed to the hilt, sort of, they weren't in where the DJ was. They were outside, schmoozing and, I don't know, making deals and talking finance and all that sort of good stuff.
Yeah, to be fair.
That was just us VV DJs that went there and spoiled the party.
Every single person was outside, right? That one, I remember getting it on film. I literally went outside and there's no one in I'm standing in the party with the DJ. There's no one in there. Probably 5 people walk outside. There's 100, 200 people just all in the lobby, all with their coats on. I mean, we didn't take our coats off all night long. We didn't even know they had a hanger place or a woman at that point because you had a coat receptionist, whatever you want to call them. None of us noticed that was there first night. So every single day we're there pictured in our puffer jackets, and by the end of that trip, my coat smelt like petrol, let alone anything else. So
I was walking around with my big cargos on, big jacket, hood on, just like looking all street. walking amongst all these guys who look like they're made of money. It was pretty funny.
It was pretty funny. It was a good event though.
Oh man, it was amazing. It was amazing. And you know what? Look, that I think the highlight for me was, it sounds a bit soppy, but the people that I got to meet there, man. Like, it was really cool getting to, spend a bit of time talking to Reese and talking to Dan as well, and a couple other members
Yeah.
of the team and Fanny and all that. But it was really like the people who I wasn't expecting to go and meet that I met there that I appreciated the most. Like you said earlier, Taz and his mate Brilliant, the Jedi guy, I can't remember exactly what his name is, the Dutch fella, the veve Meister, man, what an awesome guy he is.
Yeah.
Those kind of connections. And No Tactics ended up becoming
Wicked.
pretty tight with No Tactics, and he's a real nice guy. That was the highlight for me. It was all the people that I wasn't expecting to connect with,
It's the same as me,
that I
you
had
and
really
David.
good contacts with.
First
that event.
time we'd ever meeting. Obviously, me and David have spoken twice off stream, maybe 20, half an hour, but I could already see the guy was a good guy when I first spoke to
Oh
him.
yeah.
But then when we actually got there, like, we had no problems the whole trip. Maybe when he was getting his bike at one point, me and you were looking at each other like, fucking hell, David.
Yeah,
Just grab the bike
folks,
already. Just grab the
see,
bike
this is how
already.
we ended up running down the highway, right? We're on our way. David was the last one ready. Ash was up early. He was up like well in advance, ready to go. And we ended up to a point where we were like thinking we weren't going to get there before the doors open. And we thought that, maybe the London police thing might just sell out straight away. We didn't know how many people were here, or how it was going to go, how many other people knew about it. So we're freaking out. And there's our mate David. We're on our way walking there. We know the way. We know how long it's going to take us. David's got to get an e-bike. So he scans an e-bike, but he can't get it off. Lose 15 minutes trying to get it off. And then me and Ash were like, bollocks to this. Let's just start walking. And then David goes, yeah, I can only scan one anyway. So we start walking. We're like, fuck, we just lost 15 minutes. And now we've got to walk. And then David just takes off on his bike. We weren't even sure where we were going. So we ended up following the path of the cars instead of walking down the path next to the river. And there's no footpath there, so we're basically literally running on the highway. Cars dodging us and stuff. And then we ran up the hill and saw who was it, Captain Veve. He's like, guys, settle down.
He did as well. That was the funniest thing about it. He literally turned around to us and was just like, bro, what are you doing?
What are you guys in such a rush for? Well, man, we ain't missing out on this.
Bearing in mind, I'd spoken to him the day before, and like when I was at the pub drunk, I spoke to him a couple of times and stuff, and I kind of got on with the guy. And then the next day when he see us, I'm running along with this pink hat on, and I'm covered in sweat. Like, Fanny went to give me a cuddle at the event. I was like, wouldn't touch me if I was you. I was like, I'm literally wet. I had to go up to David and ask for a t-shirt. And then even David was like, do you have a veve account? So do I have a veve account? I was like, I've got veve logo on me on. I've got pictures with you last. Do I have a veve account? And I got the what's his name? The homie guy. I'm trying to think of their channel, their proper channel.
You talking about Crypto Far West?
Yeah.
The guy with the hair looks way younger than he actually is.
Yeah, that guy. And then he burst up. So I've seen this guy once at Decon. We didn't really speak, but we said hello. I spoke to his missus, said hello, but that was about as far as it gone. Even he started, like, as soon as I said it to David, he's just like, do you have a veve account? This guy was in stitches. He was pissing himself over there. He was cracking. And even he knew. He's like, that's bobsales. He's made veve YouTube for 2 years, David. And David, yeah, you can take one then. Oh, I've never felt so embarrassed in my life. Then the next time I meet David, he's like, where's your car? Is it outside? What are we talking about? He's like, you got your veve car with a veve logo. I'm just like, I don't drive. I don't know what you're talking about. And he's like, yeah, you're the one with a veve car. And I'm just like, oh my God. I was like, oh my God. And this is David.
Like a goldfish.
Every so often, David likes my tweets, or he's kind of nice about my videos and stuff. And all of a sudden, he don't know who I am. I was cracking up.
Yeah.
But the reaction from the other guy,
too much into it.
The other guy, when he's like, the way his reaction was, he was just like, oh my God. He was just like, really? And then it's like what you were saying. We ended up making more of a connection with the others than we did David at this event. So
Yeah, and I mean, it was cool that talking about SUI, like we were talking about earlier, the London police team, they were so involved in everything that was going on with the VV team. You know, they were out at the parties every night, they were hanging out, they were talking to everybody and everybody, and all of that
Yeah,
sort of stuff. And uh, it was I appreciated that so much. You know, to
yeah,
have somebody who was really there and part of the whole VV organization being so engaged with the community. And I think that was the biggest thing for me. But I can say the same about Reese. You know, Reese was doing the rounds. He was talking to everybody. I got in some good
yeah.
conversations with him and everything. So, you know, I can't remember the original point I was trying to make, but yeah, just to say that it was just the way it was integrated and the way everyone was included and made to feel like they really were appreciated was very cool. And I think that's why we got to meet so many people, because there was no divisions, no pressure or anything. Everybody was just sort of on the same level from the top down and getting along really well and just having a laugh. It was awesome.
I think the fact that it was smaller as well made it a lot easier to
Yeah.
integrate
So
with
if you
people.
guys ever get the chance to go to any of these events, go just for that. I mean, even if even if they're not giving any free VV stuff away or there's no alpha being put out or anything like that, go just to hang out with the fam, because they really are good folks, man.
So we got a lot of information, but it was kind of at the wrong times a lot of the time. So we can't say any of the information. So that was basically our experience the whole way through it. I mean, I did win
Yeah.
some rabbit stuff though from the
Oh yeah, put
Ubisoft.
that up actually, because people were asking about that in the Facebook group the other day.
So I got some socks. This is such a weird thing. So at the event, all I hear is Fanny Carbon, all right, shouting out French numbers. And I'm like, I'll go up to someone. I'm like, what's going on over here? Oh yeah, if you got certain mint numbers of the rabbits, you can win like an item, like a bag. The bag's downstairs because it actually ripped. Like the bottom fell out, but the
It was the
bag's
little books
downstairs.
that I thought were cool.
But it was so random, and then they were calling out mint numbers, and then at the time I was like, I kept saying to Fanny, I was like, what's that in English? What's that in English? And then she told me one was 900. So then, because I didn't want to stand there thank you, thank you. But because I didn't want to stand there any longer, I literally was just like, I forgot what I was saying now. Completely
The
forgot what I was
numbers,
saying.
when she was calling out the numbers in French.
Oh yeah, and because of that, I was just like, I'm not standing here for 10 minutes asking her to translate. So in the end, she's like, has anyone got 900? And then I see 930 something on the market. So I was like, yep, I've got 900. Yeah, that'll do. Take it. And then in the end, I got it. So I got the rabbit socks, which is pretty cool,
Weird.
right? Official as well. So they're pretty cool. And then I got the weird thing I got. See, I'm not sure where these tie into the whole situation here. I'm really not. I got 3 Mr. Men books.
See, those are the things I regret not getting. I almost bought a rabbit just to be able to get that stuff, and then I decided not to. But those are
It was
cool,
weird
man.
because it was like the bags. Some people had Xbox games in their bags,
Yeah, David got a
random
copy of
Assassin's
Assassin's Creed.
Creed or something like that. I
Yeah.
mean, even these, for some reason, have Assassin's Creed written on the back.
Well, they're Assassin's Creed characters, Mr. Ezio and all that.
I have no idea what they are. So to
Yeah, that's
me, in
yeah,
England,
that's
obviously, to everyone in England, this is a Mr. Mem, right? You
yeah.
can
But Mr.
clearly see
Ezio is a
Mr. Mem.
character, one of the main. He's your character in. He's the character you play in Assassin's Creed 2, I think.
But because it's all in French, I assumed
Oh yeah, true. It's all in
I
French.
assumed it wasn't going to be. I just assumed it was a Mr. Men book, and for some reason they just chucked it in the bag as a giveaway. How does this relate to rabbits? That's what I'm trying to work out. Does
It
this
doesn't,
relate
but it's
to?
Ubisoft. I guess they're trying to pump Assassin's
Oh
Creed.
yeah, Assassin's. Thank you. There we go. That solves the puzzle because I was trying to work out how does it relate to Ubisoft whatsoever, and then we've got that one there as well. How do you say
Yeah, I,
that?
I, I don't really play the game, so I don't know all the characters, but I know Ezio is one of the characters.
How do you say that? Or is that backwards for you?
Ivor, I don't know. I don't speak Italian, man.
What are you trying to say? It's Italian. It's French. It's supposed to be French, right?
They take places in different. They take place in different places and different times. The Assassin's Creed, like Assassin's Creed 2, is set in Italy. There's one in Egypt. There's one in I don't know.
Nah, it's definitely French. There's
Cassandra
Madame
is not
Monsieur
French,
in
man.
there.
Ezio is not French, dude.
So yeah, that was one of the things I got from the Ubisoft Rabbids thing, and the bag is actually cooler than the prizes inside. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't know, man. Those books, I miss. I regret not grabbing those, man. I think those are pretty cool to have.
They actually cost me. I'm not gonna lie to you. They cost me like £30 because by that point all the Rabbids had started to sell, and I'd already bought a Rabbid. I'd already bought a Rabbid that day, and it was like 20 gems. And then the next time I bought it was 50 gems. So I already knew I wasted it, but at the same time, it's not a waste because I got something I can keep forever, sort of thing.
For sure.
I even brought a French pack of Pokemon cards just for the sake of having a French pack of Pokemon cards. How random's that?
Oh man, that was a crazy trip. Crazy trip. Looking forward to the next one.
Mo Collections 31. Yo, good to see you, my friend. Painful Monkey. Any veve verse talk at the event? So we had a weird event, didn't we? Right?
There wasn't really any talk from them to begin with, actually.
Right. So I would kind of agree with that statement. There wasn't much. There was that one day, but that day we were actually talking to the London police people at why everyone was talking to David. But I'm sure Crypto Patient Hodler got that on camera because he was one of the main people talking at that time. But mainly that was about the Gondikes and stuff like that. There was nothing. I didn't really hear any and surprisingly, I didn't really hear any Omi talk. Off the record, I did, but not on the record. So,
yeah, there was nothing like that to speak of. There might have been little bits of crumbs thrown out when people were sort of like pinning David to the wall. But like Bob said, you'll probably be able to find that out in like Patient Hodler's videos, or if Captain Veve, if you're from the German fam, or I'm sure there'd be some French creators as well that got a bit of alpha in there, but not much. There was nothing in the way of like speeches from the team or anything like that, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah. And our problem was we got our MacBook stolen on the way. So we were going to make a lot more content, but then the computer got stolen what we were going to make the content on, which is why the computer got stolen, which makes it even worse because it had never been there if he wasn't coming to that event to meet us. Because I was going to take my whole PC at one point, and David's just like, no, I've got you covered. Don't worry. We'll film stuff. And then it just all went to, after that, we just got, for some reason, all of them are like vertical shorts. None of them are landscape or whatever.
But listen,
so
man,
that makes video cutting a bit hard.
I'm thinking I might have to make a move pretty soon, if that's all right with you. Gotta get my girl.
What time is it now? No worries. I have got a couple of other things. So let's ask you before you do go.
Sure.
So I wanted to ask you London police stuff. So right now we've seen the NFT prices, we've seen the poster prices. Is it undervalued? Is it not undervalued? Do you think it was sold too cheap? Do you think it was sold on point? And what do you think of the poster itself? You took yours out of the box, right?
I have not. I have not even opened it.
Ah, that's a shame. No. That's a shame.
But I can answer those questions. I absolutely love it. I love everything that I've seen from them because I have actually started looking on their site and on eBay and other places to check out their art, not just on Veve. Just because I love what they put out on Veve, and I've just quickly become a fan. Mr. Planet Prophet, how are you? Bob can't drink his beers.
I've got whiskey. Right now.
But so yeah, no, I think it's amazing art.
Now I've got the Crypto XR cover. Now every time I'm going to drink, I'm going to have to say to myself, "Welcome to the channel."
I was there. Yeah, I saw when you took yours out at while we were still in Auxerre, so I got to see the material and see the quality of it, and it's really high quality. It's not just a poster like people just keep calling it. It's just a habit of ours when we're talking about these kinds of things in the Veve team. I think it was extremely. I think it was underpriced. I think that the artists were within their rights to be a bit annoyed by the $199 price tag. I do think it's well undervalued.
Where's the stamp? The stamp's there, but it's not really showing up. There is like a stamp right here.
Yeah.
It's not actually showing
and on the other side, it's actually got a signature, hand signature, and a number from the artist as well.
See it?
Yeah, it's showing up a little bit. Yeah, stamped into it.
Yeah, the right on the other end.
Yeah, I'm not just saying that I think it's undervalued because I've got one. I'm saying that like I wouldn't consider selling it for the prices that it's being sold for on eBay and in the market right now. I wouldn't even consider selling mine for that price. I'll say that much.
Even I think Sui's name's in here somewhere, right?
No, that's on the big
Is
piece
that
that they had
just
on
on the
display at the
board?
booth. Yeah, well, there's a huge, like massive, like 10 meter tall or something, like some huge piece of art like that that they've got. That's a one of one. It sells for 39,000, I think, and that's the one that has Sui in the corner there.
Yeah, the other thing is with that, he was asking whether it was going to get chucked, weren't he, at one point? He was like, I don't know whether they're going to chuck the booth or what they do with it. And then it kind of got discovered it probably was just going to get chucked, which is a shame.
Oh, the art that was on the booth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it looked like it was going to get chucked. And obviously that was attached to the veve booth. Also had the Ubisoft the other side. Bit weird there wasn't any Ubisoft representatives most of the event.
I didn't see anybody there from Ubisoft.
There was that one person, the boy with the long hair, and
Right.
he had a bit of eyeliner on.
I don't know. I was expecting more from them. I thought it was going to be actually.
I expected a bigger presence there myself, but I think he was just a Discord model or something like that. But he definitely worked for them. But I didn't find that out till the second day. I did actually see him the first day, but I didn't know who it was. But then the second day when I got the bag and that, I realised who it was because he actually gave me a token to get into the Discord or whatever.
Oh, okay.
That's pretty cool. But yeah, that was the same day I got the Ubisoft stuff. I didn't know.
Covered by insurance. You're talking about the computer there. What was that? Painful Monkey. You talking about the computer? Yeah, I think it was insured. It was
Luckily,
insured.
David's the only one that had any common sense on this trip, and he did get it insured. Because I mean, when I'm talking about common sense, some of the cars we got in, there was no common sense there. I must admit.
Oh yeah, I don't know if that's maybe some of the stories we shouldn't tell on stream.
That's a story for another day. That's a story for another day. Oh no, we can tell the petrol guy because we're not dropping him in it. The other two, we'll leave them out because they were our VV fam, giving us a lift.
Yeah, so
after partying all night,
drunk from the nightclub. You've probably seen some clips from the nightclub, the bar getting set on fire and all of that. Well, it was that night there. We're on our way home from that. And my two super intelligent friends, Mr. Bobsales here and David, decided to get in some random dude's car because he was revving it for some reason. I don't know. He took him on a tour or something. I don't know exactly what it was, but I decided I'm going to just go back to the house because these two were throwing my head in. So I'm sitting out the front of the house waiting for these guys to get back. 10 minutes passes, 20 minutes passes. I don't know how long exactly it was. And then these guys both come back.
And we were in the car.
Stinking of petrol. I don't even know where they went. I still don't know what happened.
First corner, the dude turned. I got in the back of his Mini. I'm sure it's a Mini Cooper, right?
It was a Mini Cooper, yeah.
I got in the back of his Mini Cooper. David's in the front. The first corner we turned, all I feel was water or liquid or something. Because I'm so dry, I'm in the back. Like, didn't give a damn. Like, I'm just driving along. The next minute, I smelt it, and I was just like, that doesn't smell right. And then next minute, I'm holding it up like this, and my hand's burning. My hand's just burning and burning. I was just like, that does not feel good. And then the next day when I woke up, it just smelled of petrol, gasoline. I don't know what it was, but that would not come out. And it stinks. It burnt my whole hand. And I didn't notice at the time. I was too busy enjoying the ride.
Yeah, so I mean, we had a good time. We're going to go into every single little thing, but it was a good time. What was I saying before that? I can't remember now.
Wait, what?
Anyways, man, I'm going to have to love you and leave you. I got to get my girl to bed. Oh yeah, that was what I wanted to say. We are trying to put together a stream this Friday. It's not 100% guaranteed yet, but it looks pretty good that we might actually get the Sui team on to have a bit of a talk about their work, about what they've done in the past, about what because the Sui team are the digital side of the London Police, so we'll probably focus more on that. We do know they've got big plans, but we're not really well versed ourselves on what exactly those big plans are. So we're going to try and get them onto Bob's channel and have a talk on Friday and have a bit of a dive into what they've been doing with veve, what their plans are. They apparently have an ETH project that we're going to talk about, hopefully, and And so just to let you guys know that. But like I said, it's not 100% booked in yet, but that's what we're trying to put together.
We definitely need to. So we definitely got more of a personal connection than anyone else with that team. All right, it weren't the artists, but the team definitely like us at this point. And we've got some questions for them, and I think we've got the kind of, we understood what he was telling us, and we kind of understood that it was more than a poster, like what you say.
Oh, I really believe that they've got a lot of big plans, a lot coming that people don't realize. I don't think people realize just how significant the London police involvement with veve could end up being, because they really have proved very quickly that they are true members of the veve fam. They're really dedicated. I mean, they've got their other projects going on as well. They're not just, you know, sort of putting all their eggs in one basket, but they are very dedicated to what they have put together with veve, the license that they've got in place, the licensing deal. So yeah, I think it's going to be really exciting to have a chat and find out more details about what they're hoping to achieve in the future with their projects. It's going to be fun.
I think they've already got a utility plan for a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
so that's another aspect to it. And then even, like I say, where you can scan the back of the poster and then find it to see it's authentic and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. That is actually. And then you got the penciled number in the bottom. I don't know if, like you say, you've not unwrapped yours, but it's got the pencil.
No, but I saw yours. It's written in hand in pencil. Yeah, I like that.
So I'm looking forward to stretching out and not with it just rolling everywhere. Do you know what I mean? Because every time I pull it out, I'm trying to unroll it and it's just pinging back at me.
The only reason I haven't taken mine out is because I want to try and get in touch with the person who's got the number 153 digital and see if he's interested in, because I've got the 153 physical, see if he's interested in getting his hands on it before I take it out. You know, I mean, maybe he doesn't care about having that, but I'm going to see if I can get in touch with him and see if he wants it. And before that, I'm not taking it out of the tube. So.
I only had a look yesterday to see whether I could find it or not, or whether I could find my matching one for. So I think my one on my digital's 199 or something like that.
Yeah, right.
Whereas I think this one's 124.
127, I think you showed me before.
Oh, is it? It might be 124. It's funny because this one's got 127 on the end or 124 on the end, but it's got 166 on the side, which is not.
Oh, you got them all mixed up.
Don't even have 166, I don't think. That's not one of the ones I've even got. I'm pretty sure. And that might be Mr. Camper's one, actually. I know he's got 160 something. Maybe his one's 166. No, it's around here somewhere. It's in the other tubes. Got another loads of tubes over there. I'm actually going to try and post them tomorrow and all. So,
oh, good luck with that, man.
Good luck with that.
Anyways, man, with that, I got to say goodbye. Go get my girl sorted out. And,
no worries.
Thanks to everybody who showed up in the chat. I mean, I'm sure Bob's going to continue streaming, but I've got to go. It was nice seeing you all. Always nice to have Bob invite me on the channel. Always a lot of fun. So cheers, man.
It's been a pleasure, bro. It's been good to meet you in real life as well and drink.
Oh, man, I was looking forward to it for months, and no, it was a really good crack, man. Really good.
And I've got Duck and Cover dancing in the next video, and I am going to release that short after this video, by the way. And my other drinking short, even if I get copyrighted for the music or not, I'm definitely going to play that. So,
looking forward to it, man.
Bear in mind we missed a couple of drinks, but anyway, it's good to see you, bro.
All right, mate. See you later. Bye, everybody.
So let me just have a quick look at this comment section, and then I'm probably going to hop up on myself. Mr. Planet Prophet, it's good to see you, my friend. Bob can't drink 11 beers. To be fair, there was more than 11 beers all of them days. Every single day, I caught what I could, and then because I wore the same T-shirt a couple of days in a row, I kind of got confused of which nights were which at one point. So there was definitely... The next short, I will release the next one after this video. When you see that next short, that's a bad night. So at that point, first night is beer. Didn't record any of the first party. Second party is beer. Jugs, beer, whiskey, maybe a bit of whiskey, and then all beer. Next night, it was beer, champagne, snails, champagne, whiskey, and everything in between. So last night got a bit wild. Ended up in a French nightclub with the veve Meister. That was completely random. And when you see me trying to do a Jaeger bomb and I can't actually look at the Jaeger bomb and do it properly, you know it's a bad day. So let's take a look. It was a great event, though, I must admit. We will do another stream. I think Fridays we're planning to do a stream with Sui from the London police team. Maybe Nigella if she can make it. Maybe even the artists at this point. But yeah, it's been good. It's been a really good event. So let's have a quick look. Legends, fam, it's good to see you. Nice, agreed. Undervalued, it's definitely undervalued. Jimbo Lee Lingo, good to see you, my friend. Hello, Masters, good to see you. I need one of those London police posters, too far for me. You should have asked me, you should have sent me a message because I would have bought you one because you're one of my mates. I got Michael Camper one, I got Guri one, and I got Tommy one. And I would have got you one with no extra charges on top. Obviously, they've got to pay a little bit for postage. I've got to insure the postage, and then I had to pay a bit more for the airplane on the way back. But to be honest, it was not that expensive, and I'll do it again for everyone. At the same time, I got my UFC glove signed. I know you'd appreciate that. I remember I sent you some pictures. I met Alan as well, so I know you've seen that. So yeah, I felt like you for a change where I could get my UFC stuff signed. Pretty unreal. And Josh is a really nice guy, by the way. So if you get a chance, you know where to go. Mr. Planet Prophet Jimbo Lee Lingo. Mr. Planet, smash your thumbs up. Smash that, please, everyone, if you can. Bob would get me in trouble. To be honest, Bob gets himself in trouble. I'm not going to lie. Nice, Sui. Yeah, hopefully we can get that organized. I think we can, but we need to get some more hype. We need to get some more people in here because today's stream was quiet. We knew it was going to be quiet. It's been a while. Well, it's not been a while. It's been a couple of weeks. I've been doing bits in between. But yeah, it's been a little while since I've been bang on the content like I need to be. Obviously, I took that new job and stuff like that. That's been kind of getting in the way a little bit. But yeah, content starts this week again. We'll start with the Tokidoki Dragons. I think it's Dragon Year, right? So this week, I think in veve, we have a bunch of Dragon drops. Everything from the stamps to the Tokidoki and even a Ubisoft. So that's going to be cool. I'm going to definitely do a video on that. It's not going to be a deep dig because I'm probably going to do all three of them. Because it's all Dragon themed, I'm probably going to do it all in one. But I definitely need to do that. My voice has finally got a bit better. It's not 100%, but at least now I can make the bobsales videos. Because when you haven't got the same voice, when you try and watch them bobsales videos and I sound like the first video, go back and watch my first bobsales video. It sounds like absolute trash. I sound depressed. I sound really, really unwell. And now if you listen to it now, I sound good. So yeah, I definitely need my voice to do them deep digs. So anyway, I've been your host, bobsales. Let me give you a cheers before I go. I've got to do it with a drink now, right? I've been your host, bobsales. This time next year, we will be millionaires. Peace. Worst thing is, now I've got to sit here with the awkward silence.